Welcome to FireteamChat, IGN's Destiny show. Thank you so much for joining us. Joining me in the studio is Travis Northup.
C-Team. Hey.
And Brian Malkowitz.
What are you going to do now?
D-Team.
I'm your host, Destin Legary, and it's a slower week in the world of Destiny, so we're going to talk about a few of the more generalized topics, including that 999 moment that Bagel 4K became legend with, the new Pinnacle drop system, the new raid challenge, some Iron Banner talk, and general PvP/glory feedback. We'll get to the Bagel 4K legend thing because it was a pretty epic moment. I want to start with PvP so Brian can talk as little as possible this episode. We play a lot of PvP.
We sure
Travis,
do.
Right?
Yeah.
I am over 4,000 glory now, believe it or
Wow.
not. I am actually... I'm getting okay-ish at PvP. I wouldn't claim to be really, really good. And I have some feedback about the mode as Brian breaks things because he's angry.
You know, honestly, you could probably not have mentioned that because the mics don't pick that sound up.
Brian, it's
Travis, what do you like and not like about the glory stuff that has been going on in the PvP space? I think there's some strong things and definitely some things that are causing problems.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, you go first. You tell me what your problems are.
Okay. Well,
Because I could talk forever.
Some of the mods, like the One Punch Titans, basically, because of not Arc Battery, the other one.
Thundercoil.
Yeah.
Thundercoil. Yeah, Thundercoil makes it so a Titan can just punch you, and I believe he gets an overshield when it's done.
Not with Thundercoil.
No, that's...
Yeah.
I play as a hunter. Sorry, internet. Yeah, so that's definitely a problem when you encounter that in PvP. And my biggest piece of feedback is the glory solo grind. For the most part, I really, really like it when you're evenly matched. But what I don't like is something that I've seen happen a lot, and that's disconnects. People will straight up disconnect right at the beginning of your 3v3 match, putting you at a deficit of 2v3. And okay, like maybe you'll be able to pull that off, but immediately it sort of detracts from the experience of having a fair game at your level and you know, progressing.
So that one is not something that I've dealt with because I tend to not do comp unless I have a team of sweaties.
Yeah. So
that's like, yeah, the solo, actually some of my friends who were like extra sweaty, they ran through all through Legend that first week solo, and they really liked it because it kind of depends on your personal performance rather than how your team does overall. So you can lose a match and still gain glory somehow, even though it's a smaller amount. But yeah, I mean, Destiny's always had problems with things not being balanced, so it doesn't surprise me that there's like new ways people are like cheesing
What's
comp.
ever been unbalanced in this game?
Oh, Brian, let me walk you through every episode of FireteamChat while CJ and Steven were here. But yeah, there's always been things that are broken, so that continues, and obviously they're going to have to optimize. But the fact that solo is even feasible is kind of new to comp, because that before that was like an insane thing to even suggest.
yeah, and on that note, that's actually a positive. I like that there is a solo queue. That is how I've gotten to 4,000 XP. So, you know, some games I get really, really good games where it's really, really balanced, and I've mostly liked it. But I'm just giving critiques about ways to improve it from here because I'm very happy with it. But I do want to talk about a few ways that it can improve, and I'm glad you brought it up. That it is an excellent addition.
Yeah, I think it's awesome that you can now solo queue through it, and it also makes it more fun for people that aren't soloing because then they occasionally run into the solo groups that are kind of figuring things out, and there's like an interesting dynamic there. But yeah, I definitely don't have a problem with Titans being able to one punch everything. That sounds great. We should put more of that in the game.
All right, says the guy wearing the tie.
Definitely a problem.
All right, calm down.
No, I got you. There's a lot of things. Mods in particular seem to be changing a lot of the comp sandbox, and people are really starting to learn how to min-max, especially now that you're starting to see people who have their armor fully masterworked and have 10 armor slot power and stuff like that. Like, yeah, people are just piling it on. Have you run into the super mod thing too?
What's that?
Where people are stacking like the suit. You know, they've been doing that since the beginning of time with Destiny. But
they stack their super mods to get supers faster.
Yeah. And
well, that's just max int, right?
Yeah, there's So I actually don't know the details here. I probably shouldn't be talking about it on the show, but my friends claim that there's a way.
Like I shouldn't be saying anything, people.
Guys,
but
keep this on the DL. My friends claim that there's a way to kind of to make it so you get, you know, you're super like way faster than you're intended to. But
I think they talked about that in the update this week and said they're patching that.
Well, that's
out.
with the ashes to assets. The
Yes.
glitch with Telesto, that was a problem where people were getting their
Telesto has broken so many things in
times.
Destiny.
I miss the broken blind
Titans
well.
can now
Telesto.
only. Oh yeah, that's the known issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think there's some stuff that's being changed, but I think once they patch that out, they'll have the worst of it done. I will say, here's something I kind of wanted to talk about in terms of PvP, specifically with Iron Banner. I've seen a
Fixed an issue causing the ashes perk to provide super energy at an unintended level.
Yeah, so that has been. It sounds like it's gone now.
Yeah.
Oh man, I missed it. I never actually got. To
I never
take
got to
advantage
use
of
Good,
that.
you're not a monster.
They disabled it
But I
very
want to be.
quickly.
Yeah, they got on top of that. But I noticed in a lot of my Crucible matches lately, I'm seeing a much wider array of weapon types.
Yeah.
Which is really unusual for Destiny. It's usually like all pulse rifles
it's
or
like,
all shotguns.
Yeah, like it's either Mountaintop and Recluse or Revoker and Recluse, or it's like what else?
Something recluse. That's
Sunshot and
Recluse.
Revoker. There's so many options.
Well, so you're seeing a lot of that. I was actually playing last night and I saw like a lot of shotguns and stuff and Aaron
I'm
Tills.
joking around.
Okay.
Aaron
Yeah.
Tills.
I saw a lot of.
That's definitely not new.
Yeah.
A lot of people are
Usually-
using those.
So
Yeah,
usually,
it's
if
a
you
long
play
time.
some sweaty rushers, it's Mountaintop Recluse because
Yeah.
they run in, boom, and can potentially get the kill.
Yep.
I
I mean, I've run into those, but I'm saying like I was playing against people that were using scout rifles. One guy was using bad juju and like really kicking my ass last night. Which was so. I'm seeing a lot of variety, which is cool.
Yeah, it's just because
I
I think
like
it's
that
just
a lot.
bad juju is one of those weapons that didn't get its like PVE damage buff nerf
Mm-hmm.
from like Rampage and Kill Clip did and all that such. And,
Did
a
the
great
colors
lighting
just
change in the
change?
middle of an
What
episode is
was that?
fantastic. That's
cool.
It's just on a little
I like it.
rotation there. That's great.
So let me ask you a real quick question. What is your Titan loadout without OEM? Oh, I'm just kidding. I know you have OEM on.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah, I'm using one-eyed
Do your
mask.
defend. If you're not using the most powerful thing
Yeah.
in PvP, then like, why are you playing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been using like some random sniper rifle in my primary or kinetic slot, and then usually Recluse or Aaron Till in my energy
So they're
slot.
going for the meta.
Yeah, and then I'm using a grenade launcher for my power.
Nice. Grenade launcher. I still go machine gun. People don't really expect
Really?
it. Yeah. I have a pretty
really,
good range.
really
machine gun.
enjoyed machine guns in PvP.
I can't recall ever getting killed by one. So I just,
Yeah, I do not.
You're just so good, everybody.
they just don't seem like they're very efficient. I don't know.
It's almost
And Gambit,
definitely
though,
not
they really
the
If
are.
you're
best.
using something like Hammerhead, then yeah.
That's what I use.
Yeah, Hammerhead's like probably one of the best ones to use.
Is
in PvP.
Hammerhead pretty much still the only viable machine gun
21%
in the game?
delirium.
I've never seen.
No, that's
anybody use
Oh,
that.
in
PvE,
PvP.
not in PvP.
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
I didn't mean yeah, no, 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We don't play PvE.
Oh, right. Yeah,
We're
sorry.
PvP.
That's
only.
right.
No.
That's right.
I play sort of everything, but
kidding.
So my hunter build, I've been actually using Worm Husk, and I put on the Thunder Coil.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What's the other one? The one that when you use your abilities, you get an overshield basically, and that's
I don't
been
remember
a
what
pretty
it's
good.
called, but yeah.
It's been a pretty good loadout for me. Like I get hit, I spin, I'm already on my health regen, and people will push, and then it creates sort of an interesting battle. And my PvP skill, I can happily say, has definitely improved because of the solo playlist. I just said, you know what, this is the season I'm going to work on my PvP skill set, and I've been playing a lot of it and having mostly a good time. That said, let's transition and sort of talk about Iron Banner a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really quick, a suggestion about the players dropping. Allow people to rejoin. Is that possible? Like if somebody disconnects on your
I've
group
never
currently?
seen it. Again, I play with the team, but I've never seen somebody come back into a competitive match.
Yeah, so my feedback is if somebody drops before the game even starts, the game should pause in between rounds and requeue until you get that third person. It's just simply not an evenly matched game. It's not a good player experience if one of your teammates drop immediately. And I think there's some pretty seemingly easy ways, or at least ways that you could implement fixes for that, as opposed to just, well, you lose your 5 streak, Destin, sorry.
Yeah,
And it's absolutely not your fault.
I will say, if
That's something that plagues like most PvP games in
Yeah.
general is
Yeah.
like stuff like that.
That's
It's
kind
like,
of a
sorry,
larger
buddy.
problem. And
Yeah.
also, I will, if they do that, I will miss matches where you're on the team that has a full team and the other team doesn't, and you just steamroll them, because it's nice to have one of those every once in a while. And
Yeah, when it's like we complain about these things, but when it happens to you and your benefit, you're not like, damn it, Bungie.
Yeah.
Got the kill.
I'm always like, dude, this is sweet. They don't have it. Let's try to finish them before they get a new teammate.
Yeah.
You know, so-
It's like complaining in Call of Duty when you're getting spawn trapped. And you're just like, damn it, I hate this game. But then when you're on the offensive team that's spawn trapping, you're just like, this is amazing. I'm getting so many kills.
I'll be honest. That's fun when you're on the opposing team.
Yeah.
The most fun I have in Destiny, though, is when it's even and it's close. So I would rather have more even and close games than one-sided sort of, okay, we're going to win this. Let's just have fun and raffle stomp them.
Yeah.
That's fun once in a while. But I think there are some really easy to implement fixes that Bungie could consider for that comp game. And I'd love to hear more from Lars and the whole PvP crew about, what they might be considering in that space. Moving on, Iron Banner is back. We only get 4 pinnacle drops this week.
No
Yeah.
rotating dailies.
I kind of hate that, honestly.
because only 4 pinnacle
Yeah,
drops.
because it kind of gives you no reason to keep playing after you. Because I will just go back to momentum.
It's kind of weird because like when Iron Banner dropped the first time a couple weeks ago, it didn't seem like it was unintentional that the pinnacles were resetting each day.
I liked it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it kind of. Well, I mean, at that time, I can see now that might be a problem with them
Because of the
adding
plus one, plus
the
two.
+2, because like even after that, I've gone up like 3 levels since then. But yeah,
Nice. I've not played a lot since Thursday. I played like
That's
a couple
exactly
hours.
one day.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, right. It's like I'm already behind because I haven't played for one day.
Yeah. Iron Banner's fine. It's pretty sweaty this time around. I'm really glad I cleared all the bounties on that first week. I'm like, it will never be this easy to do this again. I'm doing it this week because of the mistakes they had with the quest progression. And I'm really glad I cleared it. It's really hard for me to go back and play Iron Banner now, though, because I played it so much like 2 weeks ago. I do feel like the event came back too quickly.
it did come back very quick.
Yeah.
Was it 1 or 2 week gap?
It was. I think it was a break.
A week off. And then it was back.
That's crazy.
Because we commented on it last week and we looked it up and I was like, yeah it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So, and we still have momentum control going on, which is sort of nice.
It's also that was the one thing I wanted to say. It's like I want to do some Iron Banner for some extra glory, but I think the extra glory is across all playlists.
Yeah.
All
and
glory.
like it's really
Glory?
hard.
You mean Valor?
Sorry, Valor.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to like go back to normal PvP after momentum control.
Yeah.
It's just like one tapping people with scout rifles is just very.
It was
Yeah.
really,
Very
really
crispy.
good. It was pretty fun. So that's sort of our take on Iron Banner PvP. Let's talk about this situation where Bagel 4K hit 999 power. So if you don't know, there is something in the lore called Truth to Power. And on the lore tab, it specifically reads, achieve light level 999 and defeat Dul Inkaru in a one-person fire team to unlock the true ending of the Dreaming City. So that happened, and nothing took place.
Nothing happened.
But Bungie did say something very kind to him, and it was really, really neat. They said the curse remains, and they really, really liked watching this moment. Did you guys watch any of the streams or anything?
I didn't watch the streams, mostly just because like. I didn't expect anything to happen, and the streams, they're just all stuff that we've played 1,000 times before.
It's from the Book of Lies, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's that, and it's also like the Book of Lies 1 too, and I'm also wondering if like maybe they wrote this lore book back before they even had decided that players at some point would even be able to achieve 999 light.
Yeah.
So then, and not only that, but it says light level. It's not light level anymore. It's power level.
Yeah.
And so I just imagined if they got to a point to where Bungie had forgotten about that lore book, and then so they're like, what do we do?
It was
What
fun.
do we do? Do we just ignore it and let them do it and find out that nothing happens?
It was either that, or they had planned for some big, like the curse is broken thing, and the community just like got
to
there
it
before
way
they were
really
ready
quick.
for it. Yeah,
Yeah. That's also wait. I don't know.
Yeah, it could easily be either of those. But
Yeah.
either way, I think it's cool that there was like this, theory. And I think a lot of people thought it was like Wish 15 too, right? Like
Well,
that
that
was kind of
unlocked.
That appears in not in the game, but I think people were
was
seeing
on,
that
like,
in
Dim or
braytech.org.
Yes, that's what it was.
That people were seeing that the 15th Wish Triumph is actually in the game now, kind of hidden, but it's there, but we don't know where it's at.
So people were like, sort of like letting their imaginations run wild, but I
Fairly
have to
though, because
say-
this just
yes,
spells it out, like achieve this light level and kill this person.
from something called the Book of Lies.
right.
It's true.
Yeah,
Are you guys big lore people?
No.
I'm not. No.
Okay. I
But-
am. I'm like one of those nerds who
So
like,
what did you think about the event? Were you like, could this be happening? Or were you like, no, this guy's a liar? Like that's his whole
Yeah,
story.
I was on the side of being pretty skeptical about it from the beginning, but not because I thought like, oh, in lore. I just thought like, that seems like it would be too big for Bungie to hide behind like this, like, it's just such a crapshoot. Like,
Yeah.
But
well,
too big, yes, but how cool would it have been?
It
if
would have
just,
been
like,
so cool.
If like
Yeah.
something just happened and all of a sudden the Dreaming City was cured.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm a big lore person, so like I'm always interested in this sort of stuff.
Tell us more about this myth, this legend. Then
Oh man, you're really putting me on the spot. I kind of don't remember.
Great, good
a
job,
lot
lore
about
guy.
this. Yeah.
right,
I want to reread it though. That is actually one of the best lores they've done. That and all of the lore that came out with like the Taken King, which are now like you can buy them physical book. Do you guys have those?
No.
Yeah, they're on my coffee table.
Yeah. Nice.
So yeah.
One of the other changes, the pinnacle drops, the +2. I mean, I'm still getting duplicates, and they don't increase my. Like, I got 3 boots.
Yeah, during the time where it was only +1, the game would not drop me boots at 951. So for ever, I was just sitting at 950 because I could not get that 951 boot. And then the day that they increase it, we're like, all right, let's do the raid. I got 4 boots in the raid.
What is it with Destiny and boots? It's always the boots.
I don't know. It's
remember
like
the Forever 29? Like it was the boots that wouldn't
It's
drop
always
in the raid.
boots.
For
Yeah, so
everyone.
I do the challenge in the raid, and I get boots from the normal chest, and then the challenge chest pops up, and then I get boots. Then I do the secret chest, boots. And it's just like 2 secret chests.
What are you guys now going to try to get to 960 base? Like, has this change kind of
100%
made you think it's achievable?
I thought it would. I don't care. I'm 965. I can do the hardest challenges that the game has to offer, even the Master Nightmare hunts, and usually come out just fine. Like, they're a little bit of a struggle, but I'm less incentivized to do it now because of the artifact. It's not like clearly, I don't even know like what my base
the
power
artifact,
is.
The artifact just takes so long now.
Yeah.
Like we're up to like 2 million XP needed just to get to like 968 or plus 16 on the artifact.
But
Imagine getting to 999. Does anybody know how he did that?
I
Yes,
mean,
you-
he did that like the moon.
I know exactly
right?
how he did it. You pop 4 of the bounties on the end, you go run a lost sector, and you pop the chest every second time because there was another gentleman doing it called Superpower or something like that, I think.
Sure.
Super Duper? Super Duper.
Super duper.
Yeah. That was his Twitch name. Very nice guy. And he was farming it. I watched him. And
Yeah,
like,
it's just like you go to the moon and
you get
do one
100,000
last sector,
XP every hour.
Wow.
Or 400,000 every hour.
That's pretty efficient.
which is a lot. But then you got to just imagine how much gameplay time that is. And I think there was like one day where he clocked in 25 hours in a day because of the time change.
Yeah.
For daylight
my
savings.
God.
Yeah.
That's
it's-
nuts.
It's too much to be able
So
to
good
do
on
that.
him for like sacrificing his time and life to find out that we got nothing out of it.
It's only a matter of time before somebody builds a bot that just does that for you, runs the
Yeah.
lost sector
Oh, yeah,
every hour.
Just do a macro that just
You
has
just
like
tie it to like a fan, like they used to for like farming things. Yeah, what else do we have here?
Oh, Festival of the Lost. That's still going on. Did you guys get the auto rifle and finish up that at all?
I did.
that was day one.
I
man.
grinded up the heck out of that over the weekend. So
Yeah.
since the last
well,
time we
it's
talked
worth
about it.
grinding now at least 3 times a week because the pinnacle drop.
Yeah.
If you clear the 9th branch, but
3 times a week. You mean
per
per character? Yeah.
Once per
I just
character.
don't know what the secret triumph is. That's
Yeah,
really
they still have
bothering
that.
me.
I imagine
hidden chest, I think.
I imagine that there's just be something on the final week next week that's just like, I don't know.
Hmm.
But they didn't have anything hidden in this week's, not hidden, because we had Thunderlord last year. And this year they didn't have anything kind of special.
Yeah, it's just
for
kind of
us. I wonder
whatever.
if
There
there's something else coming. Necrochasm?
a lot of those cosmetics that you liked, Brian. They were all available for
They
Bright
were.
Dust.
They were,
like
yeah.
this week. So
Yeah.
I bought the broom and the other one that I liked.
the ship.
the tombstone. I use that in PvP
I
all the
bought that
time.
for Bright Dust.
It's
It's
great.
so good. And it's
Yeah.
funny
It's great.
because you can actually make 4 of them before they start disappearing.
Oh, really?
So you can
Oh,
like
really?
if people dying, just boom. boom.
It's a pro tip right there.
And you can stack 4 of them, and then by the time you try to do a 5th one, the first one will disappear.
Nice. That's cool.
That's a great griefing tip there from Brian.
Yeah, thanks, Brian.
Yeah, if your team starts wiping in a raid.
Yeah, so that happened. The final topic that we had this week was the raid challenge, which again, it's past Thursday, so you get +2 per slot. So this is extra enticing. Brian, what is the raid challenge this
Raid
week?
challenge is don't kill Cyclopses in the first
Specific
encounter.
Cyclopses.
Well, I mean, there's specific ones you don't want to kill. Or
So
sorry,
the
that
first
you can.
one you see when you go into garden, can you kill that one?
Yes.
Okay. And then what happens after you kill the angelic?
The angelic. I mean, you just go through the door.
Well, the duos spawn, and you don't want to kill
Oh yeah,
the
you don't want to kill the duos. Yeah,
I'm
when
trying
those
to set you up to
I'm just like,
explain
what?
the encounter, Brian.
People know how to
Did you
play the game.
completely
I don't
went
want
over his head?
This isn't our raid guide here. Yeah. No, but yeah, it's like so you don't want to kill the first people in the first room when you start the encounter to spawn up in the back there while you're picking up the void overflow. You just got to avoid the Cyclopses because if you kill them, you fail the challenge, and it's the same thing in the next room. And the room over as well. And then obviously there are Cyclopses in the encounters that you can kill because that's how you progress.
Like the end run, you can kill all 6 of those bad boys.
Nope.
Yeah, you can.
Can you?
Yep,
If you can, that's annoying because we didn't.
Really?
you can.
That sucks. Actually, it wasn't
only
that bad. We all dodged
Yeah.
it just fine.
It's
Yeah,
only the
but-
additional duos that pop up.
Only the
those are
additional
ones
duos.
you can't
That's fair. Then,
So what
because
was your strat for getting by that?
Just, I mean, in the first room, I played in the first room, and we behind where the big guy is hiding, or in the middle of the room, there's a giant stone structure behind him, and you can kind of just hide there and then run out when he drops the thing and pick it up. It's really not that hard to dodge those things if you just know where they're at and know when they're gonna fire.
I'm
Sure.
probably going to give it a shot this weekend. I still
Same.
need the bow and the sniper. So those are the last 2 things that I need from
I
the
just
raid.
didn't know that we couldn't destroy all the other Cyclopses.
Yeah,
we didn't. So we're just like, all right, just dodge all of these big old Cyclopses that are firing at you.
I watched MTashes and I watched him kill all those Cyclopses and still get the double drop.
Cool.
So
Good to know
yeah.
for next time we do it.
Yeah.
I'll let my raid team know. Global backwards. Misled me.
Yeah, so that's a nice additional pinnacle drop. You have the pinnacle drops from the Iron Banner, which does incentivize me to at least play it. And I got one of those, over last night or
for
whatever.
For me, getting up the pinnacle, getting up to base 960 is just a matter of wanting to make the final encounter in the dungeon easier, nightmare hunts easier. I know it's not super hard right now, but it's who knows what's going to come out.
Did you guys replay the dungeon this week?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And then who knows what the final offensive is going to be? The final assault.
That's next.
That's next week.
No, not next week.
No,
the
not next
week from
whatever the
next
19th.
Tuesday.
I think it comes out on the 19th. But
It's 11/19 Vex
yeah.
Offensive Final Assault.
Final assault. So who knows what light level
It's
that's
written on
gonna
that
be.
piece of paper in front of you.
Yeah, the
You guys can
machine's
keep
getting
guessing
bigger.
if
It's
you
not
want.
on this paper.
I didn't
There,
guess.
It's the very top of this
I didn't guess. I
page.
said a week after Tuesday. It's the
Yeah.
19th.
Yeah.
So the machine's getting bigger. You guys see that?
Yeah, the portal.
Yeah.
It's really big
Yeah,
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's build a Vex Portal in the middle of the tower that we just saved from the Cabal invasion.
I think she's lost it. I think she's gone over the edge, and she's like, "I'm gonna do something, dramatic."
Honestly,
because she was with what's his name from Curse of Osiris. Osiris. Duh. Yeah. So
Wow.
What's the number for 911?
yeah, she was one of Osiris's disciples, right?
Yeah.
And then she was really, really close with Kade, and she basically sort of let him down at the end. And then Eris, she sort of trusted Eris, but then she's like, "Oh, I'll let you do whatever." And then Eris almost dies, so she also lets down Eris. And I think she just lost it. I think she's
Overcorrecting.
overcorrecting, and she's like, I've always been on the fringe of controversy. I'm finally gonna go over the top. And
Hopefully, it turns
continue.
into something big story wise where it just backfires her and the Vex just invade the last city.
Yeah.
Now we got to do it all over again.
That'd be cool.
Red War campaign reskin, but this time it's just all Vex.
You know who really bothers me out of all the Vanguard characters and main protagonists?
All of them?
He doesn't do anything.
He's dead.
Bro.
The main one is Zavala. Zavala,
he's irritating.
when Destiny 2 launched, they showed sort of him building up the tower and all the stuff that he does. And he has just been this annoying person that shows up and tells you that you're being bad every time you're saving
You
the
stop doing
galaxy.
this. It's especially in Warmind when you go there and then you open up Rasputin's door and he's like, "Hey Guardian, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
And you're like, "What are you doing? Why were you in there?"
Yeah. I don't like him. Like
Yeah,
his character has gotten really annoying, and it doesn't even seem like it's from a place of caution. It just seems from
he's like your. It seems like he's your guardian stepdad. He's just like trying to come in and tell you what to do.
In the first mission of Shadowkeep, he says there were seismic disturbances
that they were watching it. They knew about the red key, the
and they never
key.
sent us there.
Yeah.
There's like nothing happening.
If the Hive are building a giant like stronghold on the moon, maybe we should bomb it before they complete it.
Yeah.
Nah, we'll wait.
Yeah.
We'll wait.
Yeah. Let's not tell anybody about it. Just let Eris go there by herself.
Yeah.
So what did they do? They sent the robots there from Shaxx, and they're just like, yeah, set up the robots. They'll keep the Hive at bay from this old abandoned base.
And then you have Ikora, who's building a portal. A Vex portal in the middle of the city.
That's why I think she's fed up with the Vanguard.
Yeah.
With that, but it's also like, with Zavala being like, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. And he's just like, oh, that's fine. Vex portal, that's okay.
Dude never moves.
They only use those to get everywhere in the universe.
What's his morning routine like, do you guys think? He gets a cup of coffee, he walks to his spot on the tower, and then doesn't look anywhere else in the tower. Like, that's his whole routine.
And then he shows up when you're doing something wrong, already behind the vault. Like,
he's like, you know how much I had to do to get that door open? How were you in there?
He transmitted, bro.
That's true.
I think actually the he's always been like that, because even in the Taken King, he didn't want you to do anything, and the only reason you actually win that war is because Kade just goes off the reservation and does it himself.
Yeah,
so
well, I mean,
think now that Kade's gone,
he didn't want you to do anything after Kade died.
Yeah, now that Kade is gone, there's like this kind of missing piece, and I feel like your Guardian and maybe the Drifter are supposed to fill it, which is another. We were talking about loose ends last. Yeah, that's another loose end where there were supposed to be consequences for betraying the Vanguard, and instead we got chocolate strange coins.
Yeah,
that's like that's the consequences.
Oh, we didn't betray the Vanguard. I got regular strange coins.
Well, good luck spending those. Zero only takes legendary shards.
Yeah, so there's the Drifter stuff. There's the Prince.
Prince Aldrin.
Yeah, Prince Aldrin. Like, he's supposed to be taking over that Vanguard position.
Is that? Is that just like high speculation that he's?
Yeah, I think
there's a cutscene.
No, there's a cutscene that he gets.
But not that he's supposed to be taking over Vanguard. I think that's
in the lore.
You're right.
That's in the lore. The person who kills me will take for the Vanguard.
Yeah, yeah. That's what Kade wants.
But it's also like
I think that's their legal system in the world of Destiny. I think that's
trial
how it
by
works.
combat's like
you get to name your successor.
So if I just go shoot Zavala in the head, then I can just become the new Vanguard.
Yeah.
Internet, you'll correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Kade wanted to be in the position he was in. That's why he's always doing.
He didn't. Yeah, he lost a bet.
Yeah, he lost the bet, so he had to take over it, and I think he's trying to put that on.
Yeah, Zavala sucks. I can't believe that the new monarchy ever wanted him to be the monarch. Not worthy of it.
Someday we'll get a resolution to Aldrin.
My Titan. He's going to be.
So that's your homework assignment for this week. We've been doing homework assignments. This is the homework section. I want to know
math.
Who is your favorite person in, like, story-wise of Destiny, like characters we've interacted with, like Eris, the gunsmith is very interesting.
You already forgot who you are.
Ikora, Zavala, any of the main characters and why they're your favorite. And who is your least favorite and why are they your least favorite? Be sure to be specific and give call-outs. Now, last week we asked you about the vendor refresh, and we got some comments, and I'm going to go over a few of them right now. So Abelst Mage said, bring back factions at least as vendors, even if we can't pledge allegiance to them directly and give them bounties to complete and give them loot to earn directly as a result of reaching XYZ level, kind of like how we were able to buy D1 ships from Zavala after reaching 25. I think it was 50. I don't remember. Anyway,
it was a lot.
A certain level up. All three vendors themselves are still on the map, but are just unused for some reason. Yep. I agree.
Hard agree.
Yeah, they need to do something.
I love
there.
my new monarchy.
It's like the simple solution, honestly, and I don't know how simple of a solution it is, like on the back end, like development wise, but like just make it as it was in Destiny 1. There was no reason to shake it up, like, because when they brought it, it didn't feel like anything special or new from Destiny. And then they just call it faction rallies, and it's just like this is just what we had, 100% of the time in Destiny 1. It's just like just give us that. Should just have at least in the meantime.
Yeah, just static inventories you can buy stuff from it, or the weapons that they already had, even, or the shaders. In case you missed out on the shaders. Like, what if you didn't get the best shaders in the game, the new monarchy shaders?
The new monarchy shaders
you just
are amazing.
Can't get them from the collection. Like, that would suck. So.
Collections. Ooh, that's a whole episode. But Louis B also said, I mostly play Crucible, so no vendor refresh is frustrating as there are no drops to look forward to. Maybe if they could add in a pinnacle drop after resetting your glory and valor and all this game modes might get us to chase something. My hours in Destiny have declined recently due to lack of drops in the Crucible. So as a Crucible-specific player, I actually really understand that argument, Louis B. And I think that's a really, really good point.
You don't want more fake cries foul?
Yeah. Or the cloak, or the arms, or the helmet with like 49 rolls that you're just going to delete instantly. Trust me, man, I know. And also, you got to do something about the blues and Postmaster. I lost a lot of good stuff. Now, Crucible is great in that it rewards you consistently for playing, but it's not great because your vault fills up like that. And I actually went through and I managed all my inventory. I got it down so I had like 440 things total, right? Giving me 60 open slots. And
I still don't know this problem.
Still, it shoved everything out of my Postmaster.
Are you still using Postmaster as like a secondary vault?
Not as much as I used to because I cleaned up over the week and I was getting set up for
It's
this
just hard
week.
when they have all these like inventory, these currencies that have like caps on them. So it's like we have all these, all these phantasmal fragments and the Vex components or whatever they're called,
and the collections don't work right.
And it's just like why do we put these limits on them so that way they don't have to go to the
I do like that they added mods. Speaking of collections, that's actually kind of given me something to chase because I want all of those.
There's some specific mods I still don't have.
I really didn't like it at first, and then they added the mod tab, and you can actually see where you can acquire most of them. There's so many at Banshee, so be sure you're checking Banshee at least daily to see if he's selling one. But
also like if you have like a billion gunsmith materials, just turn them in.
Yeah,
you have a chance to get those mods from him.
Yes, that's what I did. I turned in a bunch of those, so I was under 9,000 for.
Yeah, you don't need 9,000 gunsmith materials. So it's like
they used to be more coveted. We thought mods would be a big deal, but it turns out to just be a trash economy. Basically, you use them lightly. You use them to buy the mods that you need to unlock. And actually, it is another collection sort of chase, like getting all of your mods.
It also just becomes, but it also becomes another problem with Postmaster and Vault stuff when you're just slamming the Postmaster the gunsmith to get you new weapons because like crap shaders and guns come out of there and they all go straight into your Postmaster.
Yeah, it's actually a more rewarding chase than some of the other ones though because the mods actually affect gameplay, which is awesome because I love chasing shaders and stuff, but
I got all my Master Nightmare Hunt mods. I got all the tier 3s.
Nice.
Yeah.
Damn. I've not done many of the Master Nightmare Hunts. I need to get on that.
Last comment, Nick Brill. Thank you for writing in. Everybody who wrote in, and next week hopefully we can get some good responses about who is your favorite person, main person that you can see or interact with. Maybe it's Anna Bray, maybe it's Osiris. Let us know who your favorite person is and your least favorite person and why. Nick Brill said about the vendors. He said, my frustration there are no factions and that all the loot from world vendors and even tower vendors are stale weapons that underperform. I think that's a pretty strong case. Yeah. I would like to see maybe a Weapons 2.0 where they refresh and bring back some of the Year 1 weapons with random rolls. That's interesting, the planetary vendors, because there were some good guns that could have been awesome with random rolls, and it would make people have to go back to those planets to grind out guns and armor they want. Also, if that would bring back too many weapons, then maybe bring back 1 or 2 of each archetype of weapon that would be really popular and give it random rolls. That's a really interesting concept.
Yeah,
I'm just not sure
like
too
1
many
per
weapons
planet.
is a problem, right? It's just like
it is a problem because they have to balance the sandbox every time.
You're right. They do have to balance
the sandbox is never going to be balanced.
They're never going to reach that.
They introduced 25 weapons that they have to balance for, and honestly, none of them have really shined as a PvP problem.
You talking about Shadowkeep?
Shadowkeep specifically,
the
sniper,
weapons.
there's cool stuff. I really, really like the weapons, but nothing has been game breaking. They all played it pretty safe.
They don't even need to be game breaking, just like consistently good and able to compete with some of the weapons. Because like obviously I love having weapons that it took me a lot of work to earn. Getting mountaintop and all that is awesome, but remember in the D1 days where like you could just get hung jury from and then that was great and you could use it in comp and in PvE and it was fine and it could keep up with some of the other weapons. I feel like there's not really weapons like that. Like
I agree. One per planet would be really interesting. Each of a different archetype and each a decent role to at least chase. Like I wouldn't say I enjoyed the pinnacle grind and getting the pinnacle weapons, but I got them all. And Randy's is actually one you want. And then, you have Edgewise. And if you need a solar machine gun, if you didn't get a good roll when that solar one was from before. So yeah. Anyway, that's everything for this week. Thank you guys so much for joining us. It's a little bit of a slower week in Destiny. Hopefully next week things pick up as nothing's really going on, actually.
Next week's
it's the 19th.
Not a lot going on next week because, it's
Raid Challenge Part 2.
It's the end of the Festival of the Lost. They might change something there.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
We will see. Otherwise, we'll come up with some general topics and talk more about Destiny. Well, that's it for this episode, everybody. So until next time, Guardians out.